Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple One and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Appreciate all the feedback I'm getting. It's tremendous. If you have anything to offer, send it to Southern Prepper 1, the number 1, Southern Prepper 1 at yahoo.com. It'd be greatly appreciated by me and definitely by everyone. This is great information. Let's get right into it. This is in Kentucky. This person's giving us a heads up. They said to watch for poultry plants that have truckload sales. He was able to get 40 pounds. They were sold in half a birds for $25. A great deal. So look, if you're in the area of a poultry house, call them. Maybe they can give you a great deal. Also, he said in his area, diesel fuel is over $6 a gallon. And he says bread has doubled in price. He said all groceries are just up and away. His words, getting ridiculous. This is a smelter aluminum plant. 628 people laid off. 628 people laid off. This is northeastern Maryland. Gas is running about a little less than $5. So incredible, incredible. New York steak, $25 a pound. $25 a pound. Tampons are gone, but luckily this person saw my reports of the shortages and they were able to get the last 2 boxes at Walgreens. 30 yards of topsoil delivered now is $2,300. Last year they paid $750 to $900. Astronomical on prices. The person has a 2007 Volvo. They can't even get some parts for it to fix it. Reports in the news about the polio could be coming back in London, so watch that. Also, 130 people are let go from the Kraft Heinz distribution center in Texas. They were laid off, 130 people. As I've been reporting, in the rate of people being laid off will keep going up. It is a vicious circle. This is from our mates down in Australia. Gas is $7 down there a gallon. Diesel $7.50. Weekly grocery bill is on average going up $40. High shortage of medication and medical supplies. Oxycodone, antidepressant, diabetic medication, bandages, adhesive tape, all short. Eggs are up just themselves 30%. He also said automotive parts are getting more expensive and harder to get. This is O'Reilly's. I think it's a fast food and it's in Louisville. Last week they had no Coke drinks. This week, no drinks at all except for water. They did not give a reason why. This is Minnesota. They have a large apartment building. It has almost 400 apartments in it. And one of their automatic garage doors is broken and it's in the up position. And there's no idea when they're going to get the parts to fix them. It could be a long time. So right now they have no security, which they normally would have security because the doors would go up and down. Now it's wide open. This was interesting. This person normally gets 6 pills. And that's all there is, their prescription. And usually they come in a small bottle, he said. But he just got his new shipment and they came in a 6-inch tube. So what does that tell you? That those little bottles they have are gone, are short, are not around. So he got one 6-inch tube. This is another mate from down Australia. No eggs at his grocery store in 2 weeks. This is East Alabama. Is a area supervisor for a fast food franchise. His complaints were no employees, no one to hire, needing people. They have equipment down, they can't get parts, they can't even get anything fixed. He said morale is low. This is Minneapolis, Minnesota. These people had a medical emergency. They found someone that needed immediate medical care. They called for an ambulance. Dispatch told them they will not have an ambulance for 1¼ hours. 1¼ hours. Luckily, they were able to transport this person to the hospital. They said point blank, this person would have died. So, this is life and death. Shortages, people not working, parts not being available for ambulance. This is turning into life and death. Also, the police had to do a Narcan on an overdosed person, and over 1 hour for an ambulance to get there. 1 hour wait. So if you go to Minneapolis, Minnesota, you're on your own. And just a general lack of EMS and police protection in that area. I want you to look at Sri Lanka. The country is collapsing. I've been watching it because I want to see what happens there so I can apply it in my life here. So check that out. I mean, they have a total economic collapse of their country. They are disintegrating. This is a Walmart in Springdale, Arkansas. The person sent me pictures and they're unbelievable. 3 huge aisles. They were selling some huge empty boxes for like moving, and they put the boxes together and lined them on the top shelf and the bottom shelf. I think it was on actually both sides of the aisle. Just empty boxes, just trying to make the illusion that they have something to sell. Also, they did other aisles with totes, and instead of having all the totes without the top stacked together, which they normally do, they had separated all the containers, put the tops on them, and lined the aisles. Incredible shortages. This is a project manager at a company that makes truck parts. He had to call one of his suppliers, and he had to talk to an engineer. And he couldn't get the person. He eventually got him, and they apologized, but they said that they have to work the production line for 12 hours a week. I guess that's management and all the engineer guys. Guys that should be doing other things for the company. But now they have 12 hours required per week to work the assembly line. He's assuming that's because of no workers, and I'm hearing a lot of that. A lot of people, IT people, are having to work other areas just to keep the company running. This is Walmart, Dallas, Texas. This person was in there, and they had zero ice cream available in plastic totes or plastic containers. So this to me says that there's probably definitely a plastic shortage. Citibank, this guy has a credit card with him, and it's actually for a major tire retailer, and he's used this credit card for over 10 years, and he's bought 5+ sets of tires on it. And the Citibank sent him a letter saying, we're cutting this out. They said it was not a credit problem, so it's not his credit problem. It's just related to Citibank is no longer supporting it. I mean, that's unusual because any bank wants that interest off credit cards. This mechanic says he cannot source oil coolers for 3.6 liter motors used in Dodge, Jeeps, and Chrysler. Important piece of equipment. Without it, your vehicle is not running. This guy did a nice vacation to Hershey, Pennsylvania. While at the Hershey Hotel and going through all the things tied in with Hershey, he just told me a lot of things. And basically, I will sum it up. If they have gone woke, they have gone super liberal. They stand for things that most Americans do not. So do not support Hershey syrup. And it is one of my favorite. I have at least 10 bottles in there. Hershey syrup on vanilla ice cream is the bomb. But Hershey has gone totally woke. This person works in manufacturing in North Carolina. Spare parts that they need, 5 to 6 weeks lead time on some, and even longer on others. This is killing manufacturing. This is killing plants. Without getting spare parts, things are slowly grinding to a halt. This person works in a hospital. Neosporin package, the Neosporin individual packets that they use on patients, there's a shortage of them. Walmart, someone trying to deceive Walmart by changing their oil, putting their old oil back into the container, bringing it back for a refund. So be careful when you get any product now. Make sure it's sealed. Make sure it's the original stuff that's in it. Don't be suckered. There's desperate people out there, and they will be getting desperater and desperater. This is a feed supplier. This is in Georgia. He is not reordering any feed. What he has in stock, he's going to sell. He says the freight is too high. He can't afford the freight. He said also it's just hard to get the feed. So after what sells out, he's done, over, quitting. This is near the northern Indiana-Michigan border where they make a lot of RVs. This guy says they're running out of parts. I think the RV industry is really going to go down and get a lot of layoffs because people cannot afford them. They will be going down. This is also a garbage man, and he just wanted me to stress that without DEF and without, that's the diesel additives, without diesel, things are going to shut down for him. And if they shut down for him, everything's going to be a disaster in cities and suburban areas. He also sent me a picture. He said in the last 3 days, they have thrown away into the dumpster, or excuse me, into the dump itself, physical dump, 100,000 pounds of chicken. I have no idea how they died. I don't know if they had bird flu, but I would assume they did not have bird flu, because I think maybe they would be disposed of in a better manner. He literally just dumped his load right in the trash. I have pictures to prove it. So I don't know why. Maybe it's a normal occurrence with chickens, but these were chickens, were fully feathered out, huge chickens. No reason why this happened, but it's just interesting. He says 3 days they have dumped 100,000 pounds. Let's go to Round Rock, Texas. The post office down there, they had their internet go down and it was only cash only. This person wants me to remind you, carry cash along with your debit, along with your credit cards. Let's go to the east coast of Canada, where a gallon of gas is just about $7 a gallon. This is Manitoba. They had very hot weather and their air conditioner on part of the hospital, I guess, went down. So 1/3 of the surgeries at that hospital had to be canceled because of the heat and no air conditioner. I guess they brought in a rental unit, and this would be a huge unit, not just a little wall unit, a huge unit. And they'll have that unit till early fall because the broken parts on their original air conditioner that's not working, they cannot get the parts, so it will be a while before they can get them fixed. Also, this person from Canada said produce is just as bad as in the United States. Grocery prices are going up in Canada. Crime is going up in Canada. They said people are coming undone. I think it was last week, a mom put an infant child in a dumpster. No one found the baby in time. The baby passed away. He's saying there's a lot of these situations of just desperation and I think mental illness. He says people are suffering, and after everything we've gone through over the past couple years, they need help. And he's probably referring to the lockdowns in Canada. It was very severe. And now you throw in, coming off the lockdown, you throw in inflation, you throw in stress, you throw in all of just basic life's needs being more expensive. People are having mental issues, spiritual issues. So whatever you do today, be kind to people. It might make the difference in their lives. Let's go to Franklin, Kentucky. The bakery was only 1/3 full, and the guy asked why. They have no water in the bakery. So they will not be open till probably next week until they can get it fixed, or they might need a part. I don't know, but they have no water, so the bakery cannot function. Just little things can really take our system down. This person wants us to remember our pets. Make sure you stock up, make sure you get what they need. They were trying to find a particular dog food. I think it's Nutrisource. They were out at their regular place. They actually checked all the other stores like that in the area, nothing. So then they called the manufacturer, and the manufacturer, I think, maybe got them some. But it was $49, the regular price, and now have gone up to $60. One of the store workers told them that they can only get about half of the dog food and other supplies they need for their business. They're only getting half. They need more. And that goes back to just shortages. This is a large sheriff's department in the Midwest. I would love to get some more confirmation on this. This is my only source on this information. I can't confirm it. So if anyone out there can confirm more, this is important. It said FEMA has given us 20,000 to 30,000 MREs. They've also given us 6 large military generators, and he said both of these are very odd. No one has an answer why we were given these items. So if anyone else can provide some more verification, more reasons as these were given, I'd be greatly appreciated. This is a smaller size company, and before they were always trying to get truckers to give them quotes. Truckers were had so much business, were so busy, they couldn't even get quotes from trucking companies. Now the trucking companies are calling this small business looking for things to haul. That is how bad it is. Truckers need to fill their trailers and get America moving. The company had to let a few people go recently within the last 3 to 6 months. And finally, this person's in Canada. They were buying some Mylar blankets, a 10-pack, and they were $13.01 for just the very cheap Mylar blankets. Their next order they ordered was $31.06. So that just shows you the high increase, over 100% increase. So there you go, boots on the ground. If you got anything to send it to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. Be safe out there. Thank you.